Ryobi fans all over are jumping up and down because they finally have what I'm going to call a real impact wrench that can be used on suspension components, that can be used on a little bit more heavy duty stuff. This dude's rated for removing a fastener at up to 600 pounds and fastening up to 450. We're going to test that out today. Stick with us. Ryobi's new impact wrench is part of their HP lineup, and this is model number P262. This is a 4-mode impact wrench with one of those modes being in auto mode. We'll go through that here in a minute. I think it's time that you come in and take a look at this guy because we even have tri-LEDs up front. This is a nice unit that's well worth taking a look at. Size-wise, this guy is just slightly larger than the Milwaukee Gen 1 mid-torque. Basically has some of the same specs. You have a hog ring up front. As I said, this tri-LED light that's on here, and your mode selector down here is speed 1, 2, 3, and auto. On speed 1, you are 0 to 1200 RPM. Speed 2, you are 0 to 2000. Speed 3, you are 0 to 2800 RPM with 3200 impacts per minute. The grip down here is nice, very rubbery, not hard. It's knurled to a point where you get some decent grip. You do have this one little finger, I guess, notch here. This reminds me of like the Glock Gen 4s or something. But the trigger is smooth, and the forward and reverse switch is nice. It's almost identical to most of the Milwaukees or the rigids that you'd see out there. In the middle, it does shut this off, so the tool is not being able to be used. Lots of rubber overmold on this. Very easy to set up, and the size of the tool seems to feel like it changes pending the battery you use, but very well balanced even with the smaller high performance 2 amp hour battery on here, and also feels well when you put the larger 6 amp hour battery on this unit. I really like what they're doing, pulling away from some of the hard plastics and just giving you something that really works. But the proof is in the pudding. Let's put this guy to the test. First, I want to show you what auto mode does. Auto mode on this tool is the little A at the end. Basically, it's going to work by stopping whenever it ceases or starts to impact. So in this case, when we remove this bolt, it should stop soon after this tool stops impacting. So you can see there's a little bit of delay there. Now, if we start to put this bolt in, it should stop soon after it starts impacting. Very simple and nice to use in certain circumstances. All right, guys, first thing I want to do is test that we can do the 450 foot-pounds of fastening torque. We have an 1.25 inch socket here. I'm going to pull this guy off first, then go forward. We didn't quite make it. Close, I probably put an 1/8 inch of a turn on this. So at this point, let's cruise this guy up to 600 foot-pounds. We're at 600. We have the 6 amp hour battery on this, fully charged. See what we can do in reverse. That took some time, but it did it. Now in fastening on this, I'm going to back off to 400 foot-pounds and see if we made that. Definitely made that. 425. After we got the bolt warmed up, we made the 450. Here's 475. We didn't make 475. So it's interesting, it will pretty much hit specs. I like it. It's nice to see that Ryobi has something out that is going to be used for larger suspension components, not just rotating tires. So in the last test, we used the HP 6 amp hour battery, the older one. This is the new high performance 4 amp hour battery. The HP 6 struggled slightly at 600 foot-pounds. I mean, we really had to do some impacting. I have this set for 550. Let's see what it'll do. Again, like the 6, this 4 really struggled to get it, but it did get it. So that's good news. Let's check what it'll fasten to. Here's 400. Let's see if we got that. I'm gonna go up to 410 because I'm gonna say we didn't completely get it. It might have moved a 16th. Yeah, and right there again, it moved a 16th. So we didn't quite get 400 foot-pounds that time. Lots of impacting to hit specs or not, this new Ryobi tool hit it. So if you like to work on cars, trucks, side-by-sides, or anything a little bit larger where you want a little bit more power, and you're in the Ryobi line, this hits it. So I like that. It gives the Ryobi guys some options to actually have something that works really well, and I think that's huge. So why TTI didn't do this before? Because TTI rocks it at impacts. We know that. That's one of their strengths. I don't know, but it's finally here. So let's just celebrate that the Ryobi line has something that is very significant. And it's really nice to go out and test it and see it hit specs or hit really close, because we're in some cold weather outside, and beyond that, you know, there's always going to be some variability in the bolts that we're using and different things that's going through. I was thrilled to see what this guy would do, and I'd be happy to use this on a daily basis. It feels good, it's balanced, everything's there. Auto mode for me, as you guys know, I use this finger as my auto mode. It just allows me to control it using the settings 1 through 3. But if you're one of those people who wants to use something with auto mode, this one works. We proved that it's gonna work, you know, pretty much as well as any other one out there on the market. Check this guy out. It's well worth it. As always, give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, have a great day.